Hey everybody, today I want to show you how you can raise your first $100,000 in your local market. Let's get started. If you need money, let's call it like it is. If you need money, then you're in the right place, because what I'm going to show you is exactly 3 ways of how and why you can raise $100,000 in your local market. There's actually people looking for you just to sort of help you understand this a little better, to help you, maybe share some of my stories with you, and then also to, hopefully show you some tactics that you can take and implement today in your local market, and be like some of my other students that I've got. And I've got a testimony for you I'll show you here shortly on my phone that I've been working with for a little while, and he's actually seeing some great success out of it. So get down to it as well. I know you've probably seen these webinars before, and you're probably thinking, man, I wonder what the pitch is going to be. I wonder what he's going to sell. And so I've got good news for you. Good news is that I am going to sell you something. I don't know if you call it good or bad, but anyway, I'm not going to necessarily sell you something. I'm going to pitch you something. I am going to make an offer, because at the end of the day, what I'm talking about here today, raising capital, it kind of goes the same as a sales process. You know, you're going to have a start to it. You're going to have some framework to it. You're going to have, at the end of the day, you're going to have an offer. And no different than what I'm doing here. I'm trying to put this together with, some training and different things to be able to share and reach. I am coaching one-to-one, but the thing is, it's very expensive. So I'm trying to get this more affordable, because if you're like me, I didn't come from money. I didn't have money. I didn't grow up with money. I didn't have a rich uncle. I didn't have anybody that I was able to go to or to be able to source. I didn't make enough money. Well, I did at one time, but I was young and dumb, and so I actually spent more than I was making, even though I was making a lot of money. So the thing is that, I believe that people need to know how to source capital. That's what people need to do, because at the end of the day, you have to be able to finance whatever you're looking to do. It takes money. Yes, it takes money to make money. I know we've all heard that. But what the other part of that is, nobody tells you the second half. The second half is it don't have to be your money, okay? So yes, it does take money to make money, but it don't have to be your money. And I just don't see enough people in the marketplace talking about how to source capital, how to pitch, how to structure deals, and go into all that. So, with that being said, let's dive in. There's 3 secrets that I'd like to share with you today. The first secret, if you will, is that, believe it or not, in your local market right now, believe it or not, there is capital that is looking for you, okay? And what I mean by this is that when people are getting started, there's a tendency to, when you're starting out or whatever, you want to go to real estate investors, okay? Somebody that's already investing, that already has a track record, already, successful, making money. A lot of times they're full-time. Well, these are considered sophisticated investors. And that's where the majority, like everybody I see, that's their first mistake, really, is by going to these sophisticated investors. They understand deal structure. They understand, they know the return expectations. And so basically you're going up against somebody that is smarter than you about the opportunities, smarter than you about the industry that you're going into. They are the true professional, sophisticated investor, and you are starting out trying to access them for capital so you can get started, or even if you are started, you go to the next level. We always need more capital. And that's where 99% of people fail, because when you go to these people, they know more than you. They're going to structure the deal where it's one-sided their way. They're going to make it expensive for you. Well, when you're starting out, there's all these different blocks by going to these sophisticated investors, these different, blocks, if you will, that they're stacking on top of you, to where it just makes it that much harder to succeed. So what do I mean when I say there's capital looking for you in your local market? And what that means is that you just got to know where to look, okay? There are, right now, in every marketplace in the country, there's people, I'm not going to say investors, there's people, high-paid individuals that are really good at making money. They may not know anything about investing, or they know about it, they understand it, they know they need to be doing it, but they just don't have the time. So what I mean is that there's two people that you're looking for in your marketplace, and that's going to be the unsophisticated investor and the busy professional. And two places that I would look right off the bat would be in medical. Look in the medical fields, and so go to, think about where your high-paid individuals, your doctors, your lawyers, your attorneys, people that are busy, high-paid individuals that are busy, don't necessarily have the time to to go out and find the deals like you can, or even be able to add that other part to it. So why would they invest with you, and why would they give their capital to you? And it's really kind of simple, is that, like I said, they are used to working. They're good at making money. They're working a lot. They're high paid. They're just stacking that cash. And so two reasons. They either, one, don't know how to invest. They don't have the deal flow, or they don't know how. They're missing that piece. Or number two, they may know that, but they just don't have the time to verify these deals, or to bring in the other part of it, which would be like value adding, or renovating, or whatever it may be. If they're working 100 hours a week and they're making $500,000 a year, whatever, they're not going to stop that to go make 20 grand and work a month, getting their hands dirty, sweating and laboring and all that stuff. If that's what the job called for, to make 20 grand when they can just work. Why would they do that? But they understand, they know that they need to be investing. They know their money needs to be working for them, because they're smart enough to know that that's how you make it, to true wealth and financial freedom, is once you get your money working for you. And so that's who I would be looking for. Look for your medical professionals. Now, something else I will say in this is that there's a way, by taking social media, taking the old phone out here, and you can actually start documenting, what you're doing, the deals you're looking at, and don't be pitching. You don't want to be pitch, fest, whatever. You just want to document. Say, hey, look, here's a new deal that we've got. The expected returns, you can talk about those. You can, talk about what you're going to do with it, how you're going to value add it. And so by putting these fillers out there, and put these into local groups, local different kind of online groups, or whatever. Put them on your page, put them out there, and by doing that, what you're going to do is you're going to start attracting people. Who's going to start paying attention. Do some lives. A lot of people are scared about lives, but the truth about it is, it does reach your local market. And so that's a great way for you to get some attention and reach out there. If you noticed, when I first started, holding the book upside down, stuff like that, those are called pattern interrupts. And that's something that I had to learn on how to get these, get the attention of capital. Is you got to get their attention somehow, and you're not going to get that by sitting here saying, "Oh well, maybe they'll come to me." No, you got to get out there, put yourself out in the world, letting everybody know what you do. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's not the best product that wins. It's the best known product that wins. I know you guys probably, I don't know if you have or not, but maybe you've heard that. I've heard it a bunch, but that's what it does. So put yourself out there, talking about, educating about what you're doing, and so that's going to put you as an expert. It's going to, when Mr. or Mrs. medical professional sees that, and they say, "Oh man, this person here, they know what they're doing. Look what they're talking about. Look how their structure's deal. Man, they're doing 10, 15% returns. Dang, I'd love to get 10% return on my money." And they'll send you a message. I actually had one of my recent students, Dan. He was able to implement these, and fairly quickly he was able to get his first investor. Well, I hate saying investor, get his first capital partner to come in. And he was able to take one deal, and I'll show you the testimony here in a minute, but he was able to take one deal, and you just won't believe. But anyway, so that's the first one. And just to tell you a quick story on this, on this first secret here. For me personally, I was putting some content out there in the marketplace. And what I was doing is I was taking deals, and I would literally do a screen record on my phone or my tablet, and I would be recording the screen, and I would just be scrolling through the screen, just basically reading like it's called an OM, offer memorandum. This was for a multifamily 244 unit apartment building. And I was just reading, the OM, I was reading the pro forma, that's the expectations, of 5-year projections and stuff like that. And so I was just kind of reading, just documenting, say, hey, look, here's what we're doing, da 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 da. And so I shared that out there. I shared it in 3 or 4 different places. Well, excuse me. I had a guy contact me and said, hey, I like what you're doing here. I'd like to learn more about what you're doing with putting this content out, how you're investing. Let's talk. Well, we got talking, and over a short period of time, he ended up telling me about one of his friends. Come find out, it's a family friend, so they are connected by the family. But he ended up telling me about her. Come find out, she was a medical professional. She'd been working her whole life. She's tried a few things in single family investing. And so he was like, hey, look, I'll be happy to connect you guys where you all can, maybe set up something, and maybe we all 3 can do a deal or something like that. Again, structuring a deal, win-win. And so she reached out to her, able to get on the phone, and through this conversation, we made some small talk, and I was working my way up to roughly, what is your appetite? How much money do you have? I know you're an MD, you're a medical professional here. So-and-so told me a little bit about you. What is your appetite? How much are you, how much do you got? How much money you have? That's what I was really after. And so I just asked her, and we ended up coming to find out she had $1.1 million sitting in the bank. $1.1 million sitting in the bank doing nothing with it. And so from that one contact, from me reaching out, I was able to source $1.1 million. We've gone on to do multiple commercial different assets. We actually have a 42 unit right now tax credit deal that we're doing, and we're going to continue rolling. We've got another 48 that we're looking at as well. So I mean, this is just rolling. That's one person that I was able to connect with by looking local, not for sophisticated investors, but for unsophisticated, busy professionals. That's who I was looking for. Entrepreneurs, business owners, medical professionals, lawyers. Think of people that are busy, that make good money. So anyway, let's go to number 2. The second little deal I want to give here is, believe it or not, this is the one biggest complaint or whatever I hear, and it is your track record. I hear this all the time. How can I raise capital, expect somebody to partner with me when I don't have a track record, or say it's minimal track record, or say you're say you're already doing single family and you want to go to multifamily, you don't have that track record. Why would somebody partner with me when I don't have the track record? And the truth is, they wouldn't. So what you have to do, this is what I did, is you have to learn how to structure the deal to where it masks your track record, your experience. And so the way you do that is you basically present to them the results that they're looking for. And it's kind of like they have a problem. Now I'm talking about busy professionals. We're not talking about sophisticated. Unsophisticated professionals, think about number 1. So you take number 1, that person, that avatar, you take that avatar, and then you turn around and you present to them a deal in a way that it provides solutions or results that they're looking for. And what this does is, let me just give you an example, is that, say I've got a deal, I'm unsophisticated, and you're, Mr. or Mrs. MD, medical professional. We've already spoken, we've already established a relationship, we've already spoke in step 1. Now step 2, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this deal to you, and I'm going to say, hey, look, here is an opportunity, here's a deal that I found, that I have, and what I'm going to talk about is I'm going to talk about the ROI, okay? I'm going to talk about the depreciation. You could talk about that. Literally, I'll just sum it up for you, okay? There's three things that investors, or well, anybody loaning capital, three things that they're worried about. One is how much, okay? Two is how long, and three is what's ROI. That's what they're interested in. What's the return of investment? So you want to structure it this way. You want to say, go to Mr. and Mrs. MD and say, look, I've got an opportunity. I've got a deal here. I'm needing $50,000 or 100. Let's do it. Let's do 100. That's what we're here for, right? So we're doing $100,000. I'm going to need it for 6 months, and I'm going to give you back $130,000 in 6 months. And so you can say, look, that is actually let's see, if you do $100,000 and you're giving them 130 back, so that's $30,000 in 6 months. So that's $60,000 in 12 months. So that would actually be a 60% ROI. That's what you'd be offering them. You say, hey, look, how would you like, Mr. or Mrs. MD, how would you like 60% return on your investment? Sound interested? Are you interested in making 60% return on your investment? Does that sound something like you'd be interested in? Maybe, maybe not. They're going to say, well, heck yeah, absolutely. And then you say, look, here's what I'm needing. I'm needing $100,000 for 6 months, and I'm going to pay you $130,000 back. 60% return on your money. And then they say, okay, yeah, it sounds great. Well, then you can go into, the ins and outs of the deal, whatever. But you've got to make sure it's solid. You got to make sure, that you know how to structure that deal. I'm not going to go into that here. It's something that we do cover. But anyway, so by pitching to them the opportunity, the expected returns, you're giving them the benefits, the results. You're selling them the result that they're looking for. They don't have the time to source this. They don't know the deals. They don't know nothing about it, or they don't have the time, and you're the one providing that solution for them. Okay. My experience on this, let's go back to what I was saying about the iPad and scrolling, going over a deal review. Well, what I was able to do, I was able to take that video, and I just got down to the part of me going over the returns. And this thing was like a 23% return on your investment. This thing was killer, right? It was a really good deal. It was a big deal. People wanted in on these big deals, big 244 unit multifamily. And so I was able to take this, and by posting it out there, I got some people comment, well, what they were talking about, this is kind of how I discovered this, is that they were talking about the deal. They were talking about the deal. They were talking about that opportunity. Hey, you still got any spots left for that, that 23% deal that you was talking about? You got any other deals? They were focused on the deal. They wasn't focused on me and my, my track record, my experience, because truth be told, at the time, I didn't have hardly any track record in multifamily. You know what I'm saying? Like I'd done a bunch of value adds, but it was for other people. It wasn't my own deals. And so by leveraging, and here's another thing, is that if you really want to level jump, that wasn't even my deal. I actually found somebody that had the deal. I asked if I could help raise some capital for them, not knowing that if I could raise capital or not. And so I was able to. They said, yeah, heck yeah, we'll even pay you if you're actually able to raise some capital. And so I was able to talk to them, found their deal, used it, leveraged it, did my recording, pushed it out there, and was able to attract several people on that one. And and they didn't care about me. They cared about the deal, the opportunity. So anyway, so the third thing that kind of a misbelief here, something locally, I'm trying to keep this local, not nationwide multifamily, but local, getting started or trying to just get to that next level is what we're looking for here. Believe it or not, number 3, believe it or not, these capital people, they want you to pitch them. So source our first $100,000. Let's keep this here because really there's millions and millions, hundreds of billions, there's billions of dollars out there. There's no shortage of capital in this world. I can promise you that. But right now we're going to talk about $100,000. Let's look at that piece, okay? And the people in your local market that have the money, And it may not be $100,000 chunks. You know, it may be 20, 30 at a time, 10 at a time, whatever. You know, we're looking at 100 grand. There's ways that we can structure all this. And so they actually want you to pitch them. That's the thing, is that, you know, everybody's afraid of, well, if I don't want to ask for money. I don't want to ask for money, you know. But the truth is that if you can, one, you know, step one, find that avatar, that busy professional, whatever. Two, present to them the results, the end outcome that they're looking for, the ROI. Remember, you know, how much, how long, and what's the ROI. You know, if you can pitch that to them, or you know, present that to them, and it's best to write that down or have it in a nice little, you know, print, which, you know, these are all tactics. I'm just covering theory here. So once you have your avatar, you have your busy professional, you've told them that you've got an opportunity that can present them 60% ROI on their investment. The next thing is asking for the money. You've got to ask. You need to, right here, ask them for the money. That's where the majority of people go wrong, is they do not ask for the money. You get them there. You get them close. You get them right up to the moment, and then you don't ask them for the money. But the thing is that if you're saying, hey, let me borrow 100 grand to go out here and blow, or let me borrow 100 grand because I'm in financial trouble, then no, you should not ask them. But if you've found that person, you've established that relationship, and you've told them you've got an opportunity with 60% ROI on their investment, and they're like, they're waiting. They've already met you 90% of the way. All they're saying is you need to be able to say, would you be interested in investing in this? Would you, you know, how much can I count on you for? You know, being able to have those conversations, be able to have that mindset that you're doing them a favor. You know, that's huge. That's huge. That's huge. But you don't ever see anybody hardly doing it. So the third thing on this, the third step would be to, you know, ask for the money, and then, like I said, once you have it, how to actually get it into the investment, how to, you know, structure the legality parts and all that stuff is, you know, that's for another video. But anyway, this is just a little teaser, I guess you could say, on capital sourcing secrets. This is a I don't know, I hate to say training, but at the same time, it is what it is. You know, I've got several people that I've worked with. I spoke down in New Orleans on raising capital. This book, I know you've seen me show it around a few times. It's a book I wrote on my journey of when I was starting out, 6 months to 655 units. It's how I was able to break into multifamily investing by basically raising capital. And so I've taken, you know, from that, you know, in my other experiences, different things. And since speaking in New Orleans, I was able to, you know, I made some offers down there, and I had several people take me up on it. And this is one of my students here.
Hey everyone, my name is Dan, and I live in upstate New York. My wife Jenny and I own a company called Real Estate Warehouse, and it's a real estate company where we buy, sell, and invest in anything from single-family properties to mixed-use commercial buildings like the one you see behind me. One of the things I wanted to pop on and say is that I've known Will Morris for the last 8 or 9 months now, and Will's a great guy. We talk everything real estate. We have 10-minute phone calls that turn into 2-hour phone calls because we're just both so passionate about it. But one of the reasons I wanted to pop on, and I wanted to give Will a little bit of credit here, because one of the things we talked about was how to get into buildings such as the one behind me, which is an 8-unit mixed-use commercial building, for as little money as possible. And one of the ways I did that was with a technique that Will and I talked about, and something I picked up from him, which is talking to the sellers, really getting to know what their needs and wants and desires were in terms of the property and why they wanted to sell. We were able to get the owner to provide 90% owner financing on this property. Also, we're able to get it at about $100,000 below market value. And the other thing that we were able to do is I talked to a bunch of private investors, people that were interested in being involved with real estate, but not wanting to own real estate, but you still have some of the benefits. And this is one of the things that Will and I talked a lot about, and just through networking and through some of the skills and techniques that Will offered to me and told me about, I was able to find a private investor that came in with $70,000, which helped with the last 10% of the purchase price, as well as most of the closing costs. So I was able to purchase a $500,000 building that's worth about $600,000, and I came out of pocket honestly with about only $10,000 of my own money. So I was able to get into this beautiful, beautiful building behind me. Again, $500,000 building worth $600,000 with $10,000 out of pocket through owner financing and a private investor. And I owe a lot of that to my friend Will and him helping me talk me through the transaction and some of the skills necessary to be able to do so. So thank you, Will. And if you're looking to work with, just reach out to me.
So that's what I'm talking about. That was Dan, one of my most recent success stories, I guess. I've got 3 or 4 more that I'll put on the landing page. And listen, I told you I was going to make you an offer at the beginning of this, and I am. And the reason why is because, again, step 3, you got to know that when to ask for the money. Okay, so if you'd like to work with me, like I said, I've been doing one-to-one coaching and mentorships, and it works phenomenal, and I still do that, but it is very expensive for especially somebody starting out. And me, I really care about people starting out. I mean, I really do. I remember being starting out and not having anybody there to lean on or to mentorship for a reasonable price. I mean, yeah, we can pay $50,000, per all day long for a mentorship or something, but that's just not feasible. Starting out or even after you've started and you're bootstrapping and you're putting everything back into it, that's just not feasible. So there's 2 ways of doing it. Either you can fill out the application below and check on there whether you're interested in personal mentoring, which is like I said, it's going to be a higher end product to shoot you straight because you're getting one-on-one time, or check on there that you want to be part of the group coaching. And that is basically my way of trying to help some of the people getting started, and maybe just after getting started, they're trying to get to the next level. So, look, if you want to raise your first $100,000, you need to get started. There's no better time to be raising capital, sourcing capital than right now. The economy that we went through, this COVID stuff, the way everything has been set up. The economy doing really well, and then a big, the COVID thing hit. The next couple of years, I mean, everything is set up perfect, but you need liquidity, okay? If you've got capital, if you've got several $100,000 in your pocket right now, or you've got investors and you're watching this and you're at this point right now, and you don't call me. I'm still doing deals. And I'll put you in a deal of mine, or hell, I may partner with you in yours. So, but if you're not, if you're starting out, if you have already started but you're trying to get to that next level, you're wanting to take this from part-time to full-time, if you're wanting to take your life to where you can travel around the world or the globe. I mean, this is my personal dream, is to be able to travel the world and be able to do deals anywhere I go. And the deals that I have done, know that they're continuing to produce. Well, you have to have capital to do that, right? But what a lot of people are not teaching, what a lot of people are not sharing is where to find that capital if you don't have it, and how to structure deals. I mean, like Dan said, their owner financing, man, he got in a $700,000 building with $10,000 out of pocket. I mean, that's phenomenal. He's done phenomenal. I'm so proud of Dan and what he's doing. And the thing is that you have to have somebody help get you there. I mean, bottom line is, you can do like I've done and spend several years, struggling and fighting your way through this. You're gonna write a book. You can go do speaking. I mean, there's things that I've done that does help. Write a book, go speak. I mean, it does help. Launch your career or whatever. But at the end of the day, I mean, it's expensive. The School of Hard Knocks is expensive, and what I'm trying to do is share my knowledge and my resources with you to where I can hopefully jumpstart or launch you into your career that you're looking to go into. So, like I said, below there's going to be a button that'll take you to a application page. On that application, fill it out. Be honest. I don't work with anybody just off the street. I do, it's applications. From there, you're going to schedule a call. It'll be with me or one of my team. And from there, we can talk and see if it works out, if it's a good fit. Hey, so if you find yourself thinking that you're ready to work with a mentor, somebody to help you get to that next level, help you source that first $100,000, help you get started or even take your journey to the next level, then obviously it's time to come for the pitch that I told you about, and here it is. So here's what I got for you. Erase this. Down below you're going to have a button, right? And that button is to a application. Like I said, I only accept applications. I don't work with anybody just off the street, whatever. No matter what, if you want to work for me or work with me, you're going to have to fill out an application. We're going to jump on a call. We're going to make sure this is a good fit, because the last thing I want to do is I want to take your last dollar, and the last thing I want to do is get somebody in this that's just not going to put in the work. I mean, because it is what it is, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, this is it takes work, and but the risk is worth the reward. I mean, be able to source hundreds of thousands of dollars. So you got two ways that I work with people. Like I said, you've got 1-to-1, and for this, just like what Dan is doing there, this is actually a $10,000 one-on-one, and what I'm doing on that is I will work with you until you get your 100K. Okay? So I work with you, and I actually help you one-on-one, just like with Dan. I'll help you build, I can help you with your scripts. I can help you finding the local investors. Whatever it may be. I'm going to help you get to here, okay? You pay me 10 grand, I'm going to work with you until I get you to where you've got $100,000 that is there, either in your deal, or I will help you get a investor that is actually there ready to invest in your next opportunity when it may come. So that is the one-on-one. And then the group coaching. So then you got group coaching, which is $1,000. Okay? I'm not doing all the 997s, all that stuff, whatever. I'm just keeping it simple. It's kind of hard to see that, ain't it? $1,000. So this is $1,000 for the group coaching, and inside that, I'm going to be giving you the same stuff, but we're going to be doing it in a group setting. So this will be through a community group. And inside there, the one good thing about this one is that you are, either one of these, you will be inside the same community. So we're kicking this off. I'm going to start doing this as a group moving forward, and this will be weekly. So again, this will be weekly. I don't know if I can write. Weekly lives, and this right here is going to be just access to the group. It's going to be ongoing. You're going to get future training, stuff like that as well. So as of right now, I really don't have a cap on this, and I'll be honest with you. So here's the thing. This is new. This right here is my beta deal. So, by you being in the beta group, by you, working with me from the get-go, I'm going to make sure that you get extra Q&A time. I'll make sure that you get your answers, and a lot of times the same answers that you're having, same answers that everybody else is having inside the group too. So basically, here's your two options, guys. I mean, if you want to work with me, it starts at 10 grand. This is you can come right here, and I'll work with you, and I'll make sure you get that 100K. Or you can join the group coaching. You can learn basically through a group setting, through live Q&As and live weekly trainings. All I got to say is think about the small investment that you're making today for the large investment that you're going to be, gaining down the road. It costs. Everything costs. I mean, there's nothing in this world that don't cost something. And so you need to understand that if you can, make a small investment today, learn the tips, the tricks, the skills, and gain the resources. I mean, you heard Dan. I mean, we may sit on a 10-minute scheduled call and end up talking an hour later. That's just the way I am. You know, I want to make sure you fully understand everything to where you can go out and have the best success in your life, and because I understand this impacts you, it's going to impact your kids, it's going to impact your family. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, this is not just, hey, let's get some people in here and train them. This is, hey, how can I educate or share or help someone to the point that it's going to change their generations? You know what I'm saying? Like this is generational changing here. And the only way I know to do it, do group coaching, and I will be in there live. And of course, you know, we'll go through it. I greatly appreciate you tuning in today. I appreciate you, you know, taking a moment for your future and investing in yourself. So I look forward to talking to you on the phone call. Take care. See you.